Welcome to the Broken Sun. Hey folks, it's Matt here. Just a note that about the first half of this we were having some audio issues with Keekers' file. I've cleaned it up as best as I can, but just a note, if you hang in there, it improves. Welcome back everyone to Specters of a Broken Sun, Season 2 of Stories of a Broken Sun. I'm Matt, your friendly guide here on the podcast. My pronouns are he and him. You can find me on Twitter at YCaliber, or follow the show at Broken Sun RPG. We're also on Patreon. Though if you are thinking of supporting us on Patreon, I would urge you during this time of coronavirus crisis to seek out people who need support more than we do. You can find a lot of things under, for example, the Trans Crowd Fund hashtag on Twitter. Would be a good place to look to spend your money. Before we introduce everybody, I want the podcast is produced on the unceded territory of the Katzie, Kwikwetlem, Kwantlen, Stz'uminus, and Musqueam people, and the treaty land of the Tsawwassen First Nation. You can also support Indigenous land protectors by visiting unistotin.camp and learning about the ongoing fight against invasive and illegal pipelines and other projects which ignore the sovereignty of the Indigenous peoples and their ownership of the land. Reconciliation is dead, but revolution is alive. Today, we've got a pretty full house. I am joined by a wonderful group of individuals who are here to entertain all of us in these trying times. I'm just going to go from what I can see in the video window here, from left to right. We've got Michael Blood.
Howdy everyone, it's me, Mike Blood. On Twitter, I go by Good Sir Blood. My pronouns are they and them, both in real life and online. For the purposes of this podcast, I will be playing Slip, but possibly also Emran Pak, and I'm gonna hope neither of them die.
That's a good hope to have, and one that we all share. Speaking of sharing, the most generous and kind-hearted, of course, is Velvet.
Thank you, Matt. Hi everyone, I'm Velvet. You can find me on the interwebs at OG Brown Sugar. My pronouns are she, Faye. And I'll be playing Maeve, the mother of monsters, she, her, and Augustus, they, them, who is also very kind-hearted and generous.
They are certainly generous with themself. Okay. And in addition to that, we have got with us today Keekers.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Keekers, also known as B.S. Biscuit on the interwebs. I am she, her, and today I will be playing Keva, who is she, her, and CD, who is they, them, and in a right pickle right now.
Indeed, we have got pickles all around. And today we have our special guest with us, Trudy. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Trudy. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm playing Zora, who goes by she, her.
Excellent. And thanks so much for making it out to the session tonight. All right. By my calculations, you should all have just finished listening to the special side session we had with Zora's escape, so you're all up to date on that. When last we left off, however, all of our variety of difficult situations, but triumphant all the same. The Sunbreakers and Slip had been quite successful in storming the broadcast station owned by Oatang Media Group and evading detection before they were able to crash the sim and hijack that signal power to broadcast a wave message down to the habitat. They did that in order to warn them about the impending invasion of the Hygiene Logistocracy, a group with which we are familiar because I'm sure everybody by now has listened to the Asteroid Blues one-shot on our feed from in between seasons 1 and 2. So they are here outside the habitat, and the Solar Free State is finding a way to bring them inside so that they can use that military force to basically conquer Gov's domain and potentially just move in there at long last. So whether that means they've found some way to combat the effects of the nanoparticles in the air that break down their particular robotic bodies, or whether it means they found some way to mass control living people's bodies with their own minds, hard to say. It's something we'll have to discover through play and investigation. Meanwhile, CD and one of Terry's proxies set up an amiibo party. So they set up some Roombas with amiibos as a distraction. to basically provide cover for the group infiltrating the broadcast station. And they ran into Frog the Bounty Hunter and his partner, Mr. Toad. Meanwhile, from the last session with Zora, Zora was able to escape from the Resistance medical facility where they had been on the verge of installing a smart bob into her spinal column with the help of Matt Damon and presumably Zonin somewhere, though Matt Damon had to part ways with Zora at the edge of the war zone in order to go and try to recover Zonin wherever he was, with Mandakai providing air support. Zora then made her way to the 88 Express, where she met up with MP, an erstwhile ally of hers, that she first met at a sunfall many months ago now. MP was very happy to see her, but he did need her to go on a rescue mission right away, with which she went on with one of Terry's proxy bodies providing life support in its motorcycle mode. So all of this is happening at once. We're, jumping back and forth with dramatic, editing, showing one scene in one corner of the screen and the other in the other's corner as they get closer and closer together. The one side takes up more and more of the screen until we find ourselves back in the broadcast station, which is where we will begin our roleplay tonight. You have successfully sent your message. The sim is crashed. You are in a room with 3 guards and 36 employees. Everyone is looking at you. The guards are getting ready to attack. Out in the hallway, there was another group of patrol on their way to put you into a bit of a pinch. A pickle, indeed. What's going on here in this room?
Well, I think last time I was trying to block the door or hold people off. How was she helping hack?
Yes, Keva had attempted to pull some of the consoles out of the wall to block the door, but had been stymied by the strong cables that hooked them up to the infrastructure of the building. That's something you could continue working on if you wished.
Let's see what everyone else wants to do first.
I know there's 2 guards left now because I managed to decommission one.
That's true. Yes, you did. Okay, so, Keva, you want to barricade the door?
Well, I don't know if she actually will, because now that we've put the message out, I guess we need to, skedaddle.
Yes, it would probably be a good idea to find a way out of here as soon as you can. And there may or may not be alternate routes out of this room. That would be something you'd have to discover if you wished. But if you have another way you want to escape, now's the time.
Okay, well, Maeve, it looks like the message has been uploaded. I don't know if anyone got it, but, would you mind looking at that map to see if there's another way out of here?
Can I toss the map at Keva just because I think I'm probably more focused on taking out the remaining 2 guards before they avenge their comrade?
I'm fine with it. That's up to you. You 3 should play out how you want the scene to go, and then we'll make rolls where we need to.
Okay. Kevin will take it. I don't know how successful she will be, though.
Okay. Do you want to study the map in this moment, or do you have something else you want to do with it?
I guess I will try a study. I have no dice in it.
Well, you know what the options are, right? How many gambits do we have left?
2, I think.
I think we've got 2 at the moment.
Anyone?
And you've got... there's always push yourself or get assistance, though I think Slip is the only one who could assist you, and I don't know what they're up to right now.
I believe Slip was having a bad time.
Slip is not doing well.
Okay.
Does Slip have any study? Because Kevin could pass the map to them and cover them.
I think the Slip is probably better for taking cover at looking at the map while you 2 handle things.
Okay.
I will get us out somehow.
So I guess Maeve throws it to Keva, and then Keva throws the map to Slip, and then starts she's got one tendril of hair come up like a shield, and the other one is doing kind of spear attack coming out as she stands in front of Slip.
I love that.
To protect them, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put a little clock in here for the remaining 2 guards.
Okay, I'm not very good with maps. Here you go, Slip. I hope you're better.
I haven't read something in a very long time.
That doesn't exactly fill me with confidence, but you do it.
Slip's smiley face display goes into a determined emoji face as they stare at the map.
Should I roll a scrap for defense, defending?
You and Maeve have basically the same goal here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe one of you could do a setup and the other could do an action, or you can do a group action, or one of you can aid the other. These are all options you can follow.
Okay, I still only have 1 stress. If you have more, I could lead it.
Sure, if you don't mind.
I do not mind at all.
All right, go for it. So you're in a risky situation. You're not outnumbered. So I'll call this standard effects for you.
Do I add a die? Either helping?
No, you're doing a group action,
Okay,
right?
right,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
both roll scrap.
Okay,
You
just,
take the biggest
Risky
overall.
standard.
just making sure.
The classics.
Ooh, I have 6.
There's a 6. Oh, and
And
a
a
crit.
crit.
Ooh,
All right.
Oh,
nice.
An actual crit.
An actual crit. Okay, that's very good. Let's see. Broadcast room guards. Risky standard on a crit. You know what? I'm just going to fill this up. Tell me how the two of you take out these guards so effectively.
Bill, would you like to do the honors?
Sure. I think we'll divide and conquer, and while Keva is making one like back away under threat of the hair spear, I'm gonna just bash one into the wall, and as they stagger, kind of pick them up by the leg like a club and use them to knock the other one out.
Remind us what Maeve looks like right now.
I think not messing around with the mutations too much. I think he still just kind of looks, vampy kid in the Victorian gown, but I think like one hand has like the Lady Deathstrike claws out, and then one is just like a big, like bulging chitin arm. Think like the Charger from Left 4 Dead.
Awesome. And Keva's in a disguise, right? Is she still wearing the King Tut mask?
Yes, that's right. The King
Okay.
mask.
Just making sure. Okay. So yeah, you slam your way through the two remaining guards. Slip, you've got the map there. Are we trying to use this old map, or are you going to get out of this room? What's the temperature you're feeling?
I think now that the guards are completely disposed, I think Slip is going to use their momentary connection to the computers, to the computer hardware in this communications hub to try to find the best route out.
Okay. So what action are you looking at for that?
I'm hoping a tomb, but I'm happy to study.
Okay. You've got the map as well, so that should improve your effects. All right, yeah. So are you trying to talk to the computer systems in here to get them to help you out? Or are you just looking to get into them and find information?
I think, Slip is trying to brute force it, so probably less nicety.
Okay. That's probably hack then.
All right.
If you're doing the brute force, I would say for standard effect, you'd want hack on that.
Then I'll give hack a shot.
Okay. You're still risky, and the effect on this will be standard, as I said.
Risky standard. I'm going to spend a gambit.
Yeah. Oh, and you gained a gambit back on that 6 you just rolled on scrap there.
So we're still at 2, even if I use one.
Yep.
I got a 4, which is like a crit.
Yep. In some ways. Okay. So you got a 4. So I think I am going to tick the escape facility box for you, and you get 1 tick on that. The 4. As a consequence, I'm going to tick the mystery bad clock, which fills mystery bad clock. Okay, so we'll find out what that is in just a moment.
Oh, boy.
So you hack your way through the cyberspace, systems here. The ice is no match for you as you crack your way through, and you find the information that you're looking for. There is an emergency exit that you can use from this room. You will probably have to get past the 36 employees who are still in here. I don't know if they're planning to try and stop you or anything, but the room is fairly full of people doing their jobs. But you found a way out that you can access from here.
Sick.
You find a way out?
Yeah, it looks like it's just on the other side of the room past all the bodies.
Okay. So Keva is going to turn the spear hair into another shield and basically try to part them at the Red Sea with her shields.
Way cooler than what Moses did, in my opinion.
Okay, this sounds... What action are you thinking of for this?
I think this is either another scramble or a scrap.
Are you planning to hurt them?
No, it is literally just...
Then I would say scramble.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say scramble for that.
Okay, risky.
Yeah, still risky, still standard effect on this. There are a lot of people. I would normally say limited effect, but...
What?
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
No.
That was a one. What, Keva?
That is a bad.
All right.
Wasn't me this time. Oh, no. What's worse than the mystery bad clock, Matt?
A mystery bad clock followed by a 1. That's what's worse than it.
I think
it turns out all the employees have stun rods.
Keva's poncho gets destroyed.
No, that's an unacceptable consequence.
So you put out your 2 shields, and you're gently moving people to the side as they go, and they're surprisingly passive in this whole process. They're just like, they don't really know how to respond to this. You get the impression that a lot of them were in the sim and then you crashed the sim. So they're probably experiencing some dump shock at the moment, which is why they're staggered. You're moving your way through them towards this secret exit in the back of the room, which is underneath a bank of consoles there. And you see, as you approach it, it actually starts to open, which, hey, good news, right? You know, that's where you want it to go. Obviously, Slip in their hacking opened it up. But unfortunately, it's not good news. So this panel in the floor opens up. It's like a trap door. And the elevator thing that's coming from below rises up. There's a bit of steam, a hydraulic like as it brings it up. And standing there, holding a shield in one hand and a baton in the other, with a mask, a helmet covering half of their face, is Whiskey Tango.
Son of a...
Oh,
You just hear a bunch of expletives and dial-up tones from the back of the room.
Citizens! The voice booms out of this imposing figure with their Judge Dredd-like Section Blue uniform. I would urge you to lay down your weapons and prepare to surrender.
it's not physically possible, dingus.
Can't call him a dingus. Keekers. Can't say that.
Go off, Keekers.
Yeah, so Whiskey Tango slams their baton against their shield, and the baton sparks to life. It's one of those shock batons that Whiskey Tango and Section Blue love so much. And they take a defensive position as they're looking at you. Citizens, if you refuse to surrender, then I will be left with no choice but to subdue you through appropriate force. And the other consequence that we have here, that was the bad clock, by the way.
Oh.
Whiskey Tango tracking down Slip.
This isn't even the bad part, guys.
Oh,
It ain't over, folks.
And the other consequence, once they slam their baton into the shield there's an answering slam from the hallway outside the door as 3 more figures in Section Blue attire appear.
Kevin like cranes her neck and is like, okay, one's easier to take care of the 3.
Yeah, let me just pull up this note here. All right, Section Blue.
By the way, so do you know this person?
Intimately. You see a glitchy happy face emoji on their heads-up display, on their like face screen.
Now, Whiskey, says the person in the middle of this trio of Section Blue figures, you know that this is our color. Well, I generally don't like to agree with Guy Manson. I have to in this case.
Oh.
These people are fugitives from our justice. That's right, and they destroyed our bodies. It's time for payback, says Gunner Stone. Yes, it's that trio of Section Blue officers you tangled with before. Dick Hardman, Guy Manson, and Gunner Stone. They're all here in fresh new cyborg bodies.
I hate him.
Fully geared up this time. In fact, they have brought bigger weapons than before.
But they had such big weapons before.
Mhm.
Look, they're clearly compensating for something.
Mhm.
What would Dick Hardman need to compensate for?
I couldn't say.
Low SAT scores, naturally.
So he's holding something that looks kind of like a bazooka. Guy Manson has got a shield similar to Whiskey Tango's, but he has got a crackling electrical whip that he's holding. And he
No.
gives it a lash. And Gunner Stone, instead of having that big sniper rifle he had last time, Gunner Stone is holding 2 submachine guns and then has mounted over his shoulder an anti-personnel cannon.
Oh my god.
He's also got, you can see, mounted, holstered on his hips, a pair of 6 shooters that don't look practical, but they are very big.
He looks so cool. I hate him.
Yeah, you're surrounded.
Oh my gosh. Emmy is be so upset they missed this.
Is that the giant man?
They were the guys that we fought to get Harry back.
I have an idea. It's a bad one, but I have an idea.
I'm over one.
I'm gonna mess with Whiskey's head.
Oh, I can help.
Maybe not in that way.
Okay, I've started clocks for these people, 1 for each group, 1 for Whiskey Tango themselves because they're a rival. They get their own clock, and then a different clock for Dick, Guy, and Gunner. What was your plan here, Slip?
I had the idea that I could use side dancing.
Yeah?
Just want to make sure I'm not going to die if I use it. I can push myself, and then I could spend a gambit instead of paying stress. I think I can use side dancing to make Whiskey believe that Dick, Guy, and Gunner are actually like resistance fighters in disguise, trying to fool him.
Okay, so you would have to push yourself, which is 2 stress, and then spend, okay. So you're not spending stress for any additional effect. So you'd have to push yourself for 2 stress then?
And I think because of the way I could spend a gambit instead of paying that stress.
Oh, yeah, you can do that.
Word. So we're down to 1 gambit. But
All right, what does this look like?
Slip with the glitchy robot face on their, I think it was like a, what's the word? Like a vending machine VI face that I stole long ago.
Yeah.
It starts to break apart And then we get an interior shot of Whiskey Tango's helmet, and the heads up display that he's got like a Doom guy reads the Dick Guy and Gunner. Like it creates a bunch of like false like facial reads on the people in those section blue outfits, and his helmet is making them look like, or making them register as wanted criminals.
Okay, so we should probably do a roll to see how if there are any unforeseen effects here.
I'd love to.
So you're basically attuning here. So let's do an attune at risky, and we will do Whiskey Tango limited.
You mean he's resistant to psychic manipulation?
He is your rival specifically, Slip.
I know. I do hate this man. Are you sure it's not desperate?
I think we're risky still.
All right.
Nobody has opened fire yet. They're still waiting for you to surrender.
That's a baby crit with 2 5s.
Okay, so you got a 5. This succeeds. You are able to rewrite his HUD, and Whiskey looks at it, and as he's about to respond to the trio, he pauses and he squints at his HUD, showing that they are, it says resistance agents or something like that. He's like, now hold on here. Have the 3 of you gone rogue? And he starts shifting his stance somewhat to be a stance to deal with a larger group of people. He's a highly trained killing machine. And you see the stun baton points out in front of him, and he presses a button under his shield, and the shield becomes slightly thinner because 2 parts of the shield fold down onto his arm and then flip over onto his back. And then they see them sticking up over his shoulders. They clamp down over his shoulders, these 2 elements of the shield, and there's a hissing sound, and all of a sudden he like bulks up. He seems to grow in mass.
I put him in mecha mode.
Yeah, he's bulked up. He's gotten bigger, more massive, sort of like Bane in the bad movie Bane was in. The worst movie Bane was in, I should say.
I don't know if
The
that's
Schumacher
the Tim
one.
Burton. Okay, there we go.
It's like his physiology is swelling as he gets bigger. His head doesn't increase in size, but the rest of him does kind of balloon up into larger musculature. This is clearly some function of his modified cyborg body going into beast mode, as it were. The consequence here is that your position is desperate now for the group of you.
We all have XP soon.
And the trio go like, what are you talking about? Are you going screwy in the head again, Whiskey? Then, let's see. Gunner's like, if we have to take out all of them and Whiskey, then we'll take out all of them and Whiskey, if that's what's needed. And he slams his submachine guns against his thighs. It's completely unnecessary, but it looks like he's reloading, even though it's already loaded and ready to go. And he holds the guns up, like arms akimbo, and then he like crosses them, and he's like thinks he's looking super cool, holding the submachine gun sideways. He's very excited for this moment. And Guy is looking there as well, and he says, if that's what it's come to, I never did like you much, Tango. So you're about to be in the middle of a firefight, which is why your position is desperate.
Nice.
What are we doing?
I duck.
Okay.
As much as a robot
I'm going
can.
to tick the Whiskey Tango clock twice there.
Can Keva like use her hair to grab Maeve and slip to her and shield them?
If your players are okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please protect me.
Slip, Maeve, I hope you're okay with me grabbing you.
Yes.
Okay. So all right. So you're just bringing them in closer to you in case you need to protect them.
Yes.
Maeve, Slip, are you doing anything else in this moment before things go bad or worse?
I mean, if he bulked up, then I want to bulk up.
Yeah. How? In what way are you bulking up? What does this look like for us?
Violent, rapid caterpillar metamorphosis.
Yes.
What characteristics does Maeve take on here? Is my question.
I think. Oh, I don't know. Do I want to go full kaiju?
You could go full kaiju.
Mothra?
Can I? Trying to think. I don't know. So I was thinking like more sleek armor, like kind of like those bone plates Kerrigan grows when she becomes like primeval. But I don't know if I want to get like buff.
it's your call.
I don't know if I want to bulk out. I just want to go a little bit slimmer.
I mean, if you want to build yourself for speed, that would certainly make sense because you already, I believe, declared and used armor.
You cut out there.
Or was that last session? So yeah, I mean, think about what shape you want to be. Is there any particular action you want to take, Keva? Like you've moved them over. Do you want that to be a setup role, or are you just having that be a fictional positioning thing?
That's like a fictional positioning because now I will do the setup, which is hair shields again.
Okay.
aka base shields.
Yeah. Okay. How does this work? Or does it just do that thing? Way shield. You can block blaster bolts with the way.
That's like
okay.
if we get hit, sort of.
Yeah. It allows you to resist with resolve if you need to, and you spend 1 stress to redirect the fire. Okay. Yeah. That's a good thing to do.
Does your hair do the spinning lightsaber thing, like when they fight the droidicas?
It will if the blaster bolt comes towards us. At this point, it's just stationary.
Okay. I think while Maeve is thinking about what form she wishes to take, we're going to hop over to our other scene. CD. When last we left off, Terry's proxy had been immobilized by the goo gun of Mr. Toad, and Frog the bounty hunter was approaching you. He has some binders that he's aiming to get put on you. He says, "All right then, honey, let's get these put on your wrists."
Okay, well, first of all, I'm really not into that. Not my thing. Second of all, no.
I wasn't really offering an alternative option here. Is you come with me. I get paid. Me and Mr. Toad can go off and get ourselves a nice house in the core.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. I wish I could, kind of let this go, but unfortunately, I have a couple things to do. You know why I like Twinkle Park?
I can't say. From all the information I have, last time you were here, you got your butt right kicked.
Oh, this happened way before then. When I first came to Twinkle Park, it was when the sim first opened up, and I could finally bring my daughter to an amusement park, because, we didn't have amusement parks on the station before then, so when she was growing up, she really missed out on an important childhood memory.
Okay.
Sorry for info dumping there, but besides that...
Mr. Toad is in the background putting some binders on the stuck form of Terry. He's like, "Don't you worry, Frog. Once I'm done tying this one up, we'll just goo her up, and then we'll be gone."
Yeah, that's not gonna work. How can I ungoo Terry?
A lot of time or a powerful solvent.
Okay. CD would not have that on hand. So, trying to figure out, did I say CD's loadout was light last session? Or was that just from a previous?
I believe you said light, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You may notice while you are looking over at Mr. Toad in that moment that he's speaking, you see that Terry's eyes, which you can still see, are flashing. And at first it looks sort of like Terry's eyes are just flashing because there's a electrical short. But after a moment, you notice that they are flashing in a pattern.
Oh, and is it code? I know what Terry is trying to say.
You can try to find out if you do some kind of roll to decipher it.
Okay, so study.
Sure. Yeah, you're in a desperate situation here, but I think the effect of that would be standard because CD's got an analytical mind. Okay, so a 5 there, which means there'll be a consequence here. But you are able to decipher the message from Terry. It says, "Stall, stall."
Okay. Oh, good. Yeah. So, did you guys ever come here?
Twinkle Park?
Yeah, when it was still open.
Oh, yeah, I love the teacup ride. My favorite.
CD is slowly backing away from them, but it's kind of like has their hands behind their back, and it's kind of like, yeah, so, way back when, before everything got as terrible as it was, I knew someone. Their name was Riley. They were my partner. And we used to talk about what we were going to do when we had a kid, and one of those things was Riley would talk about their local amusement park they would go to, and how that was one of their childhood memories. Unfortunately, Riley never got to bring Sarah here.
That's a real shame.
It was. It really was. I hope you gentlemen won't mind us staying here for a little bit. I'd like to just take it in again before I get into shutdown or whatever they're going to do to me.
This sounds like a roll.
Okay, gosh, I don't have a consort or a sway, but...
I mean, it definitely sounds like a sway.
But I'm a doctor and not a social person.
Liar?
Family man.
I guess you're not technically lying, but you are lying about your intent here.
Yeah.
Okay, so where did CD learn how to sway a person in this way?
Well, as aforementioned, CD was a parent, and she had to convince her daughter that shots or immunizations weren't terrifying, and that those needles were very helpful. And that's not exactly a lie, but that was convincing someone of something they didn't believe.
Mm-hmm.
So that is where CD picked that up.
All right, so you can push yourself and roll with your doctor rating. The consequence of the 5 that you had back there was I started Mystery Bad Clock 2 up here.
Oh, no. Well, at least it won't be Whiskey Tango again.
It's me, Whiskey Tango 2. They say it takes 2 to tango.
That's the sequel.
Is this...
That's season 3.
Is this still desperate? Probably.
Yeah.
Standard.
Yeah, and don't forget to be marking experience when you roll this desperate stuff.
Right.
Lots of 5s.
Yep.
Motion for that to be a baby crit.
Yeah.
The wee baby crit.
So I'm going to tick Mystery Bad Clock 2 once as a consequence of the 5.
Quick question. What if my insight is maxed out now?
Then you level up in insight.
Right now?
You could put a point in one of the sub things.
You can put a point anywhere in insight right now.
Okay, and now I have another tick there. Okay, awesome. So now CD is better at studying.
Good.
You thought so hard.
Yeah. Okay, and
so Frog the Bounty Hunter, you see there's a glistening in his giant round eyes, and he sits back on his haunches and puts his Liefeld gun over his knobbly knees. He says, "Oh, all right. You can have a few more minutes before we take you in. Don't like there's in any rush."
Oh, sounds good. And Dee stops moving backwards.
Mr. Toad finishes tying up the Terry proxy body that you're with, and he looks up after a minute and he says, "Frog, darling." "Yes, Mr. Toad." Do you hear that?" "Do I hear what?" "I heard something on the horizon, just the edge of my hearing."
Is it one of the old carnival rides moving in the wind or whatever, like creaking? Because that happens a lot.
I don't think so.
It's kind of spooky. This one.
Now that you mention it, I do hear something. Strange noise. Sounds almost like a motorcycle.
Yeah, by the way, I was wondering, is there a bounty out on my front here?
Oh, well, we can always strip it down for parts.
Oh.
Quite a fancy chassis they got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at this point, a motorcycle does indeed appear, ramping up over a piece of old junked amusement park debris. Zora, you see the situation in front of you. You've already been seeing it through the eyes of the Terry proxy. As you got closer, the Terry proxy you're riding was able to tap into the video feed from this one. So you've been seeing and hearing everything in these past couple of minutes. What do you do as you ramp up into the air?
Okay, so I actually have some questions because I was looking at the character sheets trying to figure out what everyone looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no idea what CD looks like because CD's image is of a CD and the description is ancient. So is CD literally a CD?
No.
Sadly not.
I'm trying to...
You would be seeing CD's chassis, CD's real-world robot body. So if you want to describe what Zora sees...
Hold on 1 second as I Google their chassis again, which is, I had mentioned before, their second type chassis looks a lot like Gamma E102 from Sonic Adventure. Gamma, also known as E102 from Sonic Adventure, but not a gun arm, just 2 regular robot hands.
Gotcha, I looked them up.
Okay, yeah, so...
Does this chassis of CD still have the jackal head? Or was that only on the chassis you lost?
Was on the chassis they lost, but I believe that there is like a jackal, like almost tattoo or design on the back.
Okay.
Or in place of where the numbers are on Gamma.
Okay.
So that's kind of the front.
And can I get a description of everyone else as well, just so that I have a good understanding of what Zora's looking at?
Yeah, so the Terry proxy looks the same as the one you're on, but it's encased in goop right now. Mr. Toad is wider than he is tall, and he is essentially a robot toad head with spindly robot arms and legs coming out of it, holding a goo gun, like a large-mouthed cannon attached to a tank of goo hooked up to his back. Frog the Bounty Hunter in his robot body looks like a battle toad, but robotic.
So wait, really quick question. If we're in Twinkle Park outside of the sim, then it's not a park. It's just old rundown buildings.
Yeah.
Inside the sim, it is a old, rusted, artifacting amusement park.
Yeah, it's a haunted amusement park in the sim, but Zora can't access the sim. So it's just, you're like an abandoned lot with some half-ruined buildings.
So it's very confusing to you that they are talking about it as if it is an amusement park when it does not look like that. Okay.
All right, so what does Zora do? We're in bullet time. You're in the air on the back of your motorcycle in this power armor that Terry has encased you in as life support.
God. She's never met CD or any of these people, so she has no idea who these people are or what's going on down here other than what she's overheard. Is that correct? Does she?
I'm sure Terry would have filled you in on the basics on the way. Like, CD is a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
They are wanted for trading in body parts illegally, but they have been doing that, but not in the way that the media says they have. So there's a huge bounty on CD's head.
Okay.
CD has been trading body parts. Sorry, just to clarify, Terry would know that CD has been trading in body parts to help the resistance.
This is before we knew about what the resistance actually was.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was really confused there. I was like, wait, are we good, team good or team bad?
Are we the baddies?
The resistance is very good at seeming like they're team good.
Yeah. All right. Where exactly are they? You said they just landed?
You're on a motorcycle in the air. Mr. Toad and Mr. Frog are sort of flanking CD in a triangular formation.
Okay, so then can I have us land?
Yep.
All right. And then can I have him unpeel me out of the armor?
There's no life support here, so you could, but you'd die.
Okay. So I'm stuck in the... Okay, got it. All right. Am I still able to communicate just fine? Like, with the outside world with this on?
Of course, yep.
Oh, okay. So they're going to go ahead and land. And Zora will arrive with Terry and land down. Is it possible for us to land near CD?
You can land near CD. You can land on them. You can skid to a halt.
You could land on Frog, or which one is that? Yeah, Frog.
You could do a sweet flip. You know, you've got a ramp, you've got speed, you've got anime action.
Okay, so we could literally land on one of them and potentially squish them.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be lovely. Thank you.
All right.
Super metal of you.
I originally created Frog as a reference to the character from Chrono Trigger, and then ARP ruined it with that accent.
What do you mean?
Frog the bounty hunter.
Frog.
The big bad frog.
Okay, I'm going to put in a clock for the bounty hunters here, and the two of you can decide. Zora, you can decide if you want to crash into them with your motorcycle. Do you think that's a driving roll, a helm roll, or is that a fighting roll, scrap? What feels right to you?
That's a good question. Let me pull up my sheet really quick.
Do you feel like, are you using the motorcycle as a weapon, or are you using the motorcycle as a motorcycle?
Now, let's use the motorcycle as a weapon.
So it's going to be scrap then.
Okay. Let's go ahead and land it on Frog if we can help it.
Okay.
Rest in peace already.
They did not see you coming. You're in a controlled situation, and your effect here, because you are a large person on a big motorcycle and you are coming down from the air, is going to be great. So controlled great, which is the best roll you can have.
Oh, jeez.
Good thing.
All right. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so you got a 4 there, which means that there is a success. I'm going to put a tick on the bounty hunter's clock here. So your motorcycle lands on top of Frog, the bounty hunter, and it like leaves tire marks all over his face and like his head, big bulbous head, like. But then you crash into the ground in front of Frog, and you're sent tumbling from your motorcycle, like going end over end, ass over tea kettle, as it were, as you wipe out there, and you take the level 2 harm road rash.
Can I resist?
You can always resist.
All right.
That'll be prowess.
Oh.
Okay, so that means you take 3 stress, but the road rash is mitigated by the power armor that you're wearing, and you're able to like turn the roll into a controlled flip and get onto your feet, skid back a bit. You are now over behind Mr. Toad there, and the motorcycle that you were on is crashed in the middle here.
CD has noted the size of Zora and is like, oh, wow, it's another tall drink of water. Gee, where are they finding these people?
Oh, you scamp, you.
Hi, I'm CD. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Zora.
Ooh, nice name.
Thank you. Probably not the best time to be having this conversation, though.
Sorry, I'm just kind of a talker.
Frog is getting his gun back off of his knees and standing up, rubbing at his head. He takes his hand away and sees there's that asphalt burned rubber stuff on his finger, and he goes, "Oh, I just got me waxed. You'll pay for that." And begins getting his ridiculous Liefeld cannon ready. Mr. Toad has his goo cannon, and he's looking back and forth between CD and Zora, trying to decide who to goo up next. CD, you have a minute here if you want to act.
Okay, CD is going to attack Toad, or kind of attack. CD is going to use their syringes and applicators to do a stun and immobilize Toad.
Okay, so you're going after Mr. Toad.
Yeah.
Do you have some type of solution in there that will immobilize mechanical structures like robotic bodies?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's basically, it's technically a hacking tool.
Okay.
But
you're declaring that as part of your load.
Yeah, well, I want to say that it's a syringe and applicator because That's
Okay, yeah, that's part
kind
of
of what it is. Yeah, it's part of my kit.
So this would, for standard effect, this would be scrap.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a different approach you want to use?
It can't be doctor.
It'd be limited effect if it was doctor.
Let me think. What if actually CD goes over there and does Toad have the handcuffs?
Toad doesn't, because Toad used them on the Terry proxy.
Okay.
Mr. Frog has binders out.
Okay. Well, I guess maybe CD will go over and scramble with Frog to get the binders on him.
Him. These are both him.
Okay.
Okay, so scramble to a position or away from danger. Lift, run, climb, jump, or swim. Traverse harsh environments. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know about that one. That might be because scramble is kind of running away, and you're running towards here.
Okay.
It might seem like not the best fit here. Like it would probably be no effect if you're trying to scramble. You could, if you want to use your syringes, you could maybe make an argument for this being a doctor role, that it would be slightly less effect.
Oh, that's okay.
Like if you want to syringe him.
CD is, or I could do drugs. CD also could have drugs.
That's not what winners do.
Winners don't inject someone.
But if you get high enough, you'll be above the influence.
No. CD is going to inject them with cyber heroin.
All right. Some type of cyber. Are you injecting malware? Because that would be like a hacking role.
Yeah. I guess we might say it's that.
Okay. Walk me through what this action looks like. So what is it that you actually want to do?
I'm trying to figure this out.
Okay.
I don't have hack. I only have doctor, scramble, skulk, attune, study, and rig.
Mm-hmm.
CD's not good fight.
No. You can push yourself, take a devil's bargain. Maybe Zora can assist you, or you could set up Zora using a setup action.
Okay.
You have 2 gambits.
Okay, CD's gonna set up for Zora by doing the doctor of the drugs or other injector, which the injecting whatever it is sedative as a doctor.
Okay. And who are you doing this on? Frog or Mr. Toad?
Mr. Toad.
Okay. So you're going to do a setup action on Mr. Toad, which will help to improve the position or effect of Zora's next action, which is how setup actions work.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure that we're doing that. So set up another character with your action. If you achieve it, any team members who follow through on your maneuver get +1 effect or improved position.
Yeah.
So this is we said this is going to be a doctor role because you're injecting them. I think it's still going to be limited effect, but we'll give it a try all the same.
So risky limited or desperate?
Risky limited because they're not looking at you right now. Someone just crashed a motorcycle into this party.
Okay. Oh, 6. Yes.
Nice.
Well done.
Nice.
So that has set up Zora. I'm not going to use it to tick because it's not an action, it's a setup, which is a different thing. But Zora, you have been set up. The injection goes into Mr. Toad's giant toad head, and his movements become sluggish. And he's like, "Oh, what's going on here?" Ooh.
All right, time for Zora to scrap. She's going to take out her giant sword and get to scrapping while she still has the advantage.
Okay.
All right. So we're risky position.
Yeah. So you would be risky standard.
Okay.
But the setup action means that you can move it to controlled position, or you can have risky great effect.
What is better to have here?
I would say great effect.
Okay.
So that will help you fill up this clock faster.
Got it.
Okay. You got a 5. Okay. I'm going to, as a consequence, tick Mystery Bad Clock 2. And you're at great effect. So I'm going to add some ticks here. Okay. So you're just swinging your blade at Mr. Toad?
Yep.
Okay. So your blade smacks into Mr. Toad, and his armor is actually very tough. So rather than cleaving him apart, it actually sends him bouncing, and he bounces right over the smoldering wreck of the Terry motorcycle that you arrived on, and collides with Frog, and the two of them go down in a heap, which is, tangled limbs and so on. They're kind of stuck together, and not in the way they like to be. They're sort of struggling to extricate themselves so that they can try and get this bounty. So if either of you wants to follow up, or if you're going to run away, either option is good right now. It's up to you.
But the amiibos are set up?
They're set up. They're running around somewhere in this park.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we should get out of here now.
I think that's a good idea.
Can CD, lift the other Terry, or at least try?
It's pretty stuck to the ground, but the Terry, you see its eyes flashing, and because you've already decoded it, you see it says go, go, go.
Without you?
It just keeps flashing go.
Okay. And CD's gonna go over. I guess we gotta get out of here. Terry says to go. Go back to camp.
Then let's go.
Do you mind if I...
This is a good time for scramble.
Yeah. CD's gonna look at the motorcycle and be like, do you mind if I'm on the back and I hold on to you?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Okay. Just want to check. I know some people don't like to be touched. And CD tries to loop onto Zora in the most delicate, nice way, trying to hold on to her shoulders.
Okay. So you climb up onto Zora's back, and the power armor that she's wearing shifts and changes and basically turns you into a little backpack for Zora.
Oh, that's fun.
That's cute.
Do you want this to be a group action or an assisted action or just one person rolls for scramble to get out of here?
How much stress are you at, Trudy?
I am 3 short of max.
Okay, yeah, that's not good. I'm 4 short, but I wouldn't mind leading if you want.
Yeah, sure. What's your scramble at?
I have 1 tick.
Okay, I've got 2 ticks in my scramble.
So you don't have to be good at an action to lead a group action.
Got it. So how exactly do group actions work?
In this case, the reason it would make sense for you to lead the group action is because you're the one doing the running.
Yeah.
But a group action is everybody involved rolls the same action, and you take the highest roll overall out of everyone. And then if there are any failed rolls, the group leader takes 1 stress per failed roll.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that taking lead does make sense for me. How do you feel about that, Peekers?
Well, I was just thinking that since maximum I would be getting 2 more stress or 1, then we would either be equal or whatever. So that's why I thought I would lead, just so that we wouldn't be overbearing you, but whatever you want to do.
Let me go ahead and take the lead, and then I'll go ahead and roll my scramble.
Okay.
Okay. So you're still in a risky position. You know, they are entangled, but they do both still have projectile weapons, and they are both highly trained bounty hunters with hundreds of years of experience. So you're still in a risky position. I think this will be, because you've got that power armor that's boosting your jumps here, probably great effect.
Got it.
And I roll as well.
Cats. Ouch.
Okay, that's still a success. A 4 is still a success.
Am I supposed to?
Yeah, you both roll. Okay.
5.
So the highest is a 5. This is great effect. So that fills the bounty hunter's clock, meaning that you have dealt with that obstacle, in this case by knocking them over and then running away. As a consequence of it being a mixed success, not a full success, I am going to tick Mystery Bad Clock 2 one more time. The 2 of you escape as you are running out of this lot that is in the sim, a amusement park. You hear behind you the sound of 2 large explosions as Terry's proxy bodies self-detonate rather than fall into enemy hands. It's okay, Terry has more, but it does suck to lose these.